I wish I could tell you this stuff.
Alex.
Yeah.
Don't add to the intrigue. The point is, yesterday, the funeral, 5,000 people at Andrew Breitbart at his funeral. This is a guy younger than us, a young man. On March 1st, he kept telling everybody. He stood up at CPAC in front of thousands of people and said, March 1st. I asked him if he was afraid. He said, yeah, a little bit. I said, they're going to kill you. I told him that for a year. They're going to kill you. You can't destroy, Obama's brown shirt army like Acorn. You can't go after Weiner. And immediately my family and friends, they wanted me to quit. They want me to quit. They think, Breitbart's a warning shot. I've also heard stories about Rush, that he may be in danger. I mean, again...
no doubt. No, listen, he always says things like, look at this woman, blah, blah, blah. They are trying to destroy him right now.
Brother, listen, okay? You and I do different kinds of radio show. He does a different kind of radio show than I do. But the fact is, this guy is a huge threat to this White House. And listen to how Ed Schultz, how he talked about talk show host Laura Ingraham. Listen to Bill Maher using every word you can imagine for Sarah Palin. Let's just talk about, Islamo-fascists circumcising their daughters or these honor killings. Where are the feminists? And all of a sudden, over this 35-year-old woman who said she needs $1,000 a year for contraceptions, all of a sudden he makes a joke, and it's the end of the world. Come on, this thing smells of a setup. And by the way, I haven't used $1,000 worth of condoms since I started becoming sexually active. I mean, look, I believe... You remember The Godfather? They lined everybody up, and then they offed people?
Yeah, well, they struck it one fell. So I agree it's a warning shot. I mean, look at all the intimidation. Look at how they're about the FBI going after News Corps. I mean, they're attacking.
Brother, I'm just telling you, people called me and they said, man, Cal, for God's sakes, be careful. You've got kids. Andrew Breitbart has 4 little children. I understand they were sitting in the front row at the funeral yesterday, and I mean, it just rips my heart out. And my first thought was you. My God, he's next. He's next. I know you're in Texas. I know you're well armed, but I'm worried for you, my friend. And let's just say right here, you're not suicidal. You're healthy.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I would never commit suicide. I jog 4, 5, 6 miles every day, and I feel great. And
I've never been in better health. You saw what a tea drinker I was. You saw what a health nut I was last time I saw you. So look, we'll see what happens. How about the guy? How about the Obama impersonator found dead?
Oh yeah, it's getting crazy.
I mean, again, it could just be coincidence, but Vince Foster and a lot of death around Bill Clinton too. It's just amazing amount of death around some of these people, isn't it?
Well, man, Cal, I'll tell you right now that him telling you, give us those quotes exactly as Breitbart 2 days before you were in talks. This is big news, actually.
I don't know if it's big news. I know that they promoted it. He was working on a show on CNN with Weiner. I never heard anything about that. I know that he had committed to me to do a TV show with me every week on a major network. He was going to do a segment called Breitbart Predicts. You were to be part of it. I'm to be part of it. We're going to see what happens. But no, look, he was on the show every single week. And he said, I've got video. It's going to bring down the house of cards that is the house of Obama or Obama. It's over. I said, what about Romney? What about Ron Paul? It doesn't matter. It's over. It's over. I've got it. I've got the smoking
And here's the $64 million issue. We're going to cover it when we come back, man, Cal.
March 1st. He said March 1st.
Where is it?
Doggone it. If he didn't die, March 1st.
And this is the question when we come back. Where's the video now? And how do we know it hasn't been excised? Where is it? Stay there. Go ahead. Okay, this is big breaking news, folks. This isn't just about Breitbart. It's about purges. A video went up today showing how you can get to the TSA body scanners with weapons, and they flipped out and had YouTube take it down when it was in a bunch of newspapers. Our stories at drudgereport.com. This is the type of stuff we're talking about. Okay, now, it's incredible how much intel and how much info I get and how much I don't tell you because I don't like talking about myself in the third person. But we are newsmakers here. And those of us that are newsmakers, I've had the White House respond to me a year ago when we first reported how they're going to shut down most of the power plants not owned by GE to boost their profits. The White House responded, Jay Carney, saying I was a crazy liar, and then months later they admitted they were doing it. The point is, I'm on the White House enemies list that came out 2 years ago. It's creepy. I've had establishment types call me and say, why don't you just join the establishment? The point is, this is real. Andrew Breitbart, the day, if you just joined us here in the third hour, the day he was set to release something that was going to vet Obama, he told others that would bring him down. He dies. And we're going to play a clip here in a moment of him at CPAC talking about vetting him, and this is going to be powerful. But hiding in plain view, and I meant to call him last week to get him on because I knew he had him on all the time, was friends with him, is Eric Muller, Mancow. Eric Mancow Muller of Mancow.com. Who you know has done national talk shows on TV, Fox for more than a decade, syndicated radio, #1 Chicago. You know the story. William Shatner's buddy. Everybody else's buddy. The point, and we're going to get to, hold on, I'm building you up here because it's true. 3 or 4 months ago, or longer, he's calling me going, are you ready to do a show with me and Andrew Breitbart? Will you do it? And I'm saying there's no way they're going to let me do a show on that big TV network, but I'm sure you're going to do your show. And that's wonderful. And now he's gotten the show. We can't say the name and stuff yet, but it'll be out soon. And then all this is going on, and I'm not even remembering this was happening. And then he's like, hold on, I got to go. Andrew Breitbart's calling me. So he's lining us up to be like the two sidekicks on the show. And I'm like, yeah, I'll see Mancow and Breitbart on TV. They're never going to put me on. So I'm kind of halfway interested. I'm like, Mancow, that's nice of you, but they're not going to do that. So, they're going to give you a show and maybe Breitbart, but not me. So, knowing the big network it is, #1 in news, I'll just leave it at that. It's hard to figure out who that is. But we're going to have a big article out on this because, it's a big article that he was supposed to do a show with Weiner on CNN. According to Mancow, I knew him well. That's not even true. This is a real show on where you'd expect him to have a show. So I'm setting the table here. So that's how credible Mancow is on his relationship with Andrew Breitbart, because he was set to the show and green-lighted, already somebody on that network. Now, he tells him 2 days before he dies, Mancow tells him, and I want you to repeat all this, Mancow, because we're doing an article and the press is tuned in right now. This is going to be in hundreds of newspapers. He tells you what? Repeat it all and then get into where's the video, the footage of him at the commie meetings that was going to be released March 1st that would, quote, bring down the House of Cards. Mancow, you've got the floor. Tell us everything.
Look, he may have been working on a TV show with CNN. I find it a little bit far-fetched, because of, you look at the way MSNBC treated somebody like a Pat Buchanan. The left isn't interested in the other side. But I don't know. Is it possible? I suppose it is. He never talked with me about it. Okay, we were working on our own little TV thing. Okay. I just remembered something else, or something else that I haven't said yet, Alex. But basically, he said he had video. He had information that would bring down the House of Cards that is the House of Obama. He says it's all over. I brought up Mitt Romney. I said, what about, who's going to win? He goes, it doesn't matter now. It's over. Obama's over. I know the truth. And I said, is it Saudi? Is he the Arabian candidate? Is he, forget Manchurian candidate? Is he funded by Saudi Arabia? Is he a plant? He goes, it's much bigger than you can even imagine. It's much bigger than that. It's much bigger. And it's over. I've got the smoking gun. I said, well, of course, I want the breaking story. Come on, buddy. No. I said, well, tell me. He goes, no. I said, are you afraid? He goes, he was a fearless guy, but I sensed a little bit of fear. I said, buddy, you should tell somebody. You should tell somebody. And I often told him to make sure that he had, duplicate copies of everything, and in case anything ever happened. These are conversations that we had at a place called Heaven on 7, a Cajun joint where we hung out in Chicago. I remember having this conversation. And but March 1st, he was going to let the world know March 1st. And then, boom, he goes out for a walk in the middle of the night, 10 of natural causes. Immediately, before there was any investigation, they announced natural causes. Now, I've been doing this since the late 80s. Just the way the media, the mainstream media, and you got to read between the headlines, just the way, natural causes. Now it looks like they're going to investigate it. I hope they do investigate it. A lot of people, from what I understand last night at his funeral, his memorial service, a lot of people feel the same way I do. Any of us that knew him that anybody, and I know hundreds of people that know him, in our gut, our first thought was, oh, they killed him. Look, March 1st, he's going to bring down Obama. And then he goes out in the middle of the night, and he's got a natural causes. Move on, nothing to see here.
And the fact that they killed him on March 1st is a message to everybody.
Well, Alex, I want to make this very clear to everybody. I don't know that they killed him. I'm just saying, my gut is right more times than it's wrong.
We don't know that bears go to the bathroom in the woods.
Well, I've never seen a bear actually go to the bathroom in the woods. It wasn't animated. So I don't know. I don't know. But it just seems fishy to me. He's a young man. He was a healthy guy, I thought. And I want to say something else. You talked about this. I don't believe whatever he had, we're ever going to see the real deal. They'll release something, but I don't believe we'll ever see the real deal. I'll tell you why. Look, if it meant releasing this tape and being killed, I wouldn't release it. I've got children. I'm sorry. I mean, if I'm wimpy, forgive me. I care about America. I care about God. Well, maybe I'd give it to 20 people and let them release it. But I really question whether or not whatever he had, I think, is going to go with him to the grave. Well,
there were some leaks and comments that it was palling around with communists, and then from other sources, it was him at communist meetings discussing the overthrow of America.
Well, I mean, how about this tape that we know? Forget Andrew Breitbart for a second. We know that there's a tape of Obama getting up at a theater in Chicago and praising a terrorist. And the tape exists, and the woman that has it says, "I'm not going to let anybody see it because she's an Obama supporter." I mean, there are things out there. How about the people that have told me they knew Obama when he was a young man, and he was introduced to them as a foreign exchange student?
Well, that's on record. It was Barry Soetoro, and for years they said you were a conspiracy theorist. Now he calls into shows as Barry, and they put it in approved books about him. Yeah, I was named Barry Soetoro. Again, who is this guy? But look,
who is this guy? And now we're going to arm the Syrians. I mean, these are people that want us dead.
They're going to arm al-Qaeda to invade Syria. Look, Mancow, here's what I'm getting at.
Who is this guy?
You've made the point. Well, speaking of that, in San Antonio, it's in the news, and I've got the video. The kids start saying USA, USA, which everybody, even people at my speeches are saying that now. It means, yay, USA. And people love this.
Is that what it means?
Well, they're now saying it's racist.
Alex, you forget, my show's on in San Antonio, you're on in San Antonio, and I went to the Alamo. It's not very impressive. But I went to the Alamo, and then I went to the 3D movie on IMAX. And I want to say it was like over $100 for my family. It was an expensive ticket. And they have edited the movie so that there's nothing offensive to Mexico. Now, this is a massacre that happened at the Alamo. You're talking about this San Antonio school and this school that's named Alamo High School. And because people chanted USA when their coach who they love got a trophy, because they chanted USA, that's racist against Latinos in America. It makes no sense.
Well, no. Take Hispanic kids in San Francisco cannot wear American flag shirts because the illegals take it as anti-Mexico. I mean, it's more like a soccer team thing. Kids wearing Old Navy shirts, and then the news went and they were Hispanic. They're like, you don't wear American flags. I mean, in Arizona, the American flag can't fly at government buildings. They get pulled down by the illegals.
Yeah, this is the madness. This is the crazy age. Wrong is right. Right is wrong. What has happened to us?
You're not patriotic if you don't support al-Qaeda attacking Libya and Syria with our criminal government running it. Listen, expanding on this, though, where does this go with Breitbart? Because I've talked to some people close to him as well, and they say, yeah, he was really shaking up the establishment. It looks bad. That's basically a paraphrase quote, but that's what I was told somebody right, as close as you can pretty much get. It doesn't look good. And then national talk show hosts and people that are hiding out.
Well, brother, I mean, where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere. He's dead. His vision is dead. He was a singular force. He was a unique force.